We see a market that's going to be sideways with increased volatility. We've seen a lot of volatility all year between this growth and value trade taking place back and forth. And now that the overall market and really the growth stocks have hit a valuation ceiling, and with the increased uncertainty we have heading into the election, we do think market's going to be more or less sideways. But I think it's important to note that this sell-off here is not the growth sell-off that started 2 weeks ago. What we're seeing now is more of a classic risk-off cyclical sell-off, where you want to focus, have your money in defense and companies that have really good fundamentals. And that brings you back to a lot of these large cap growth names that do have those characteristics.
Brian, the floor is yours to react. Do you see it the way Michael does, i.e. stimulus unlikely, highs for the year possibly in, period of volatility within a narrow band between now and year end? Or do you see something different?
No, I'd like to give you a little controversy and difference of opinion, Tyler, but I think we're probably very close to being on the same page. Once Labor Day came and went without a stimulus bill, and we started getting into election season, it became increasingly more difficult for Washington to get a stimulus package through. So prior to the election, it's probably off the table. There was some folks were hoping for action in a lame duck session between the election and the inauguration. The passing of Justice Ginsburg makes that increasingly difficult. I think that would have been a heavy lift to start with. The passing of Justice Ginsburg makes it even tougher. So stimulus is probably punted to 2021. Now we also have the raised prospect of a government shutdown. Not this week or next. Kayla was talking about some of the controversy surrounding getting a bill passed by September 30th in order to avoid a shutdown. I think Washington will avoid the pre-election shutdown. I am more concerned than I had been about a lame duck December shutdown, because we're going to get through the election. There's likely to be chaos. Emotions are going to be raw. Now we're going to have a Supreme Court confirmation process possibly going on at the same time. Can Washington get together and avoid a shutdown in December? The prospects have gone up. So we were already expecting chaos and volatility after the election. We just put some more fuel on that fire.
Michael, how can I make a little money in the chaos that Brian forecasts?
I think investors should be sticking with companies that have good fundamentals. We would be adding some defensive parts to the portfolio. So bond yields, though the yields are low, if we get increased volatility, there's potential for the markets to become a little more risk off and bond yields to go slightly lower. Gold has been a great safe haven asset as well. But in general, we would stick with a core positioning of high quality growth stocks, some growth cyclicals, as well as a bit of defense on the side to provide some diversification from the volatility we do both expect.